I'm not going to lead with this video and say that I've made millions and millions of dollars because I don't want to really disclose my numbers publicly. Everyone's out there saying how much they're making with their business, but this video is not about how much money I'm making or how much money you're making. This video is about you have a business and you're fucking hating it. You're not enjoying it. And this video is designed to help you not actually hate your life and enjoy the life you live. Now, what I will say is I have, in my position currently, been in the worst depths of depression. I've been in the literally like zero, negative, zero, negative, zero, negative. And in both scenarios, when I was losing money or I had zero money to my name and the business wasn't doing what I wanted to do, I was both hating life and fully free, abundant, and loving life. And what it made me realize is making money doesn't actually mean anything towards your happiness. It solves money problems, but it doesn't allow you to build the self-confidence that you need to make you feel like you're happy or you're worthful for anything. Now, if your whole internal organization of your identity is structured in the way that you need money to feel valuable, you need money to feel like you're the person that is of some sort of substance, then you should probably look at that now before it gets tested by the universe. Because no matter what happens, whether you're holding all your money in the US dollar and the US dollar goes to zero, you've got all your money in stock and it gets fucking wiped, you get a massive filing of tax, or you get sued for something, or let's say a major medical accident happens and you have to pay for it. I don't know what the situation might be, but the universe will always give you a test. So if you're going to be holding a lot of your net worth or your self-worth in your net worth, then the universe will test you. And I'm saying from experience, once you go through the test, you realize that the whole point of life and business is about freedom. And now what I can say is this: I am free. I have time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. That is from businesses that I've built and the current systems that I have operating right now. So I'm able to live the life that I want. And it allows me to build these videos to help people like they're in a similar position to me where I was fucking hating life. I was hating everything about business. And to be quite frank, the thing that really helped me get through it was being able to understand a few things which I'm going to break down in this video. Now, if you influence the inputs, if you do enough volume in, it will be unreasonable that you get the outputs that you want. But it's still something which, that's why business is up and down. That's why it's risky. That's why a lot of people fail, because they're unable to do the key fundamental things that are simple to yield the returns they want in their business. So this is for if you're unmotivated, you're feeling behind, you want to do something else, what you're currently doing isn't working, and you're like, life sucks, I want to do something else, I do not enjoy what I'm doing right now. And you realize that even if you are making money, this is a video that is perfect for you, because I've been in a position like not too long ago where I was making the most money I ever have in my entire life right now. And I'll be honest, right now, I'm financially making the most money that I ever have in my entire life, and it's been consistent and it's growing. And so I've also been in the both scenarios where I'm loving life and I'm also realizing, holy shit, I'm not loving life, and both times I've had money. So I've been the complete polar opposites. And so the first thing like to really highlight in this video is that removing yourself from the outcomes will do so much wonders to your world, to your internal and your external world. You'll be able to be a lot happier. You'll enjoy the process, and more importantly, you'll be able to move forward in life in the present. Because if you're moving forward in life in the present, you're not getting held up by the past, and you're also not being held up by the future. You're focusing on your own path because that's the only thing you can control. And so when you're in the present, the only thing that you can control is your thoughts, your habits, and your actions. Now, there might be a few more like tactical things which you can only control, but if you really think about it, the thoughts that you have dictate the things that you say, and the things that you say will dictate your actions, and your actions will dictate your reality in the future. And so where you are right now is a direct correlation to the build-up of all of your actions you've ever had in life. So when you're watching this video right now, you are literally watching this from a result of every single thing from the day you were born up until now. So when you understand that the living in present reality as we are in right now, it allows us to realize, okay, the next few steps that I take and then the trajectory which I take my life is entirely up to me. Let me bring it back to hating life, because one thing that I can tell you for sure is if your business is not growing, you're not going to be enjoying it. And in not enjoying the business, you're going to not be motivated because you're not getting rewarded from the outputs, the money, the results, the clients that you want. Now, what I've realized is when the business isn't growing, that's exactly when I need to focus on the inputs more. Because For me, I need to look at the leverage that I have and I need to apply that into my life. Now, what I'm saying is the main leverage that I've sort of been able to unlock is the leverage of content. Sitting down, recording, filming, and putting this out there in through multiple mediums, whether it be video, audio, photo, whatever it may be. Now, in creating content, you do the work once and it can be distributed infinite amount of times. And now I don't want to be saying that you have to be doing only leverage work, because sometimes the growth, especially in business, comes from doing the things that don't scale, doing the things which aren't leveraged. But this is for specifically talking, for doing the actions that will yield you the ability to take 100 steps forward for only one input of action. Now, the content side of it is what's going to allow you to get more leads, which will result into more sales, which will be able to build a business which compounds, and your only input is in creating one unit, which is the content. Now, whether you want to make content for your business, whether it's in ads, whether it's in organic, or you want to make content for yourself, whether it be your personal brand or your YouTube channel, whether it may be either of those things, and it doesn't matter if it's either of those things, making content and learning the fundamental skills to do it successfully and to do it well will allow you to put these inputs directly into your life and your business. Now I'll tie it back to my content. In learning the skills of being able to sit down on camera, speak to the camera, and put that video out into the world, it's allowed me to really refine my thoughts and my actions in the way that I speak. And from refining those skills, it allows me to approach life and become a winner. I can walk into a room, I can articulate things eloquently, I can say exactly what I need to say, and it forces me to get better as the business owner, as the operator, as the individual. And it's become this self-perpetual flywheel where I only want to get better, and it feeds back into my results, which is my business, in my life, in my relationships, in my health, everything, because I'm refining my thoughts, which in refining my thoughts, it dictates my actions. And in being able to control my actions through a long enough period of time of consistency, I can have anything I want in life and I can control the reality around me. This is a superpower. If you understand how valuable this is, you will be able to get anything you want in life, especially if you're consistent, because there are people that are retarded that are ahead of you. There are people that are fucking not very smart, that are not very hardworking, and they're ahead of you. Why? Because they were consistent. Now, they may have got lucky, but luck doesn't compound over time. Consistency does. If you simply just show up on the camera, for example, and get better at the content skills creation, then you're able to compound that consistently. And in 1, 2, 3 years' time, you're going to be 1,000 steps ahead of the current trajectory that you're heading down right now. Now, if you think about the people that are making a lot of money right now, they are content people that are understanding how to do this with a lot of distribution. They're not very smart. They haven't been doing it for long, but they did something which is high leverage, which was consistency, and it's yielded them in a high results. To illustrate how valuable this is, I'll speak from the whole purpose of my content initially. I didn't make any sense to make any content because I didn't want to sell to the audience. So what did I do? I started making content with one intention: to build my brand, to get better at the skill, to get it better at life, but more importantly, so I could hire people into my business, and in doing that, in result, my business would grow. Now, I attracted all the sales reps, all the appointment setters, all the editing talent. So then I've solved all of my sales problems which need people, and I've solved all of my media problems which need people. So now my media side is covered. I'm fucking ahead of the curve, both with my content and with my business. My fucking back ends and my sales are working well, because that was the biggest problem right now, because you get all these people that are learning sales, you get all these people that are learning the skills, but they're commoditized. They're not bought in. They're jumping from offer to offer, because the way that sales works is that you get paid on commission. You're not getting paid a salary. So the best performers will go to the best jobs or the best businesses, and they're able to make the most money. But at the point that I was in just then, I wasn't very good. We weren't very far ahead, but because they'd watched my content, because they've consumed it, they already bought into me. They can see my vision, they can see where I'm going, and they were bought in on me so much to the fact where the guys that were working for me went out with their own money and their own time without me saying anything and bought coaching, bought mentorship from other programs purely to get better at the skills. Same with the editing team. They were fucking going out, buying courses, buying things to get better, so then they can get better because they wanted to push as I was pushing. Now, this saved me a whole heap of headache because these people didn't churn out. They actually contributed to the business, and in result, the business in the space of 6 months grew 5x. Now, that is an incredible return on investment if you look at it from the perspective where I was only focusing on my content. And because I wasn't trying to sell anything, because there's this big misnomer that if you have to create content, you have to make money from it. But because I was doing it with the intention to just attract good quality people, then it allowed me to still compound my audience and being able to focus on creating the content and making the best quality stuff possible so that the audience would compound and grow with time. And I wasn't making this like awkward ask for them for specific things. And so when I made an ask, it was actually a good ask because it's like, hey, I want to pay you money to come work for me. Not many people are doing that with their content or their personal brand. And so that is one example of how powerful your personal brand and creating content can be. Not only are you able to put these skills into your business, but into yourself. So to tie this off, I've just talked about how you're going to get better quality talent into your business, and then your business will grow because of those people. I've also explained the leverage of content, and I've also explained how you're going to get more leads and sales because it's pretty obvious. You're going to get more distribution, more people are going to know about you, and in doing that, they're going to know what you have to offer, and then they're going to want to work with you. If you can actually build a good brand, you're not just making content for the sake of making content. By default, you're going to compound and grow because more people are going to know about your stuff, and it's going to make your ad costs go down. It's going to make your outreach a lot more effective, and it's going to allow your close rate to be higher. It's going to allow you to get more sales at a lot lower effort. And you'll also have better quality leads, which leads to better testimonials, better results, and then your business will grow from there. Now, this is specifically for network on the entrepreneur and the business front. If your network is shit, if everyone around you is where you're at, no one's really far ahead of you, or if you're having to pay for mentorships, creating content is a cheat code to growth because number one, you get access to rooms which you never would have been able to have access to. And when you walk into rooms and you meet people, they already know who you are. You don't need to speak for yourself. So it's not aura on the fence where it's like, oh, like I have this like unspoken aura, but it's more on the fact that it just makes communication and conversations a lot more seamless and frictionless because it will allow you to have a better quality conversation, open up doors in real life a lot easier, and people will not have to have this bullshit meter. But more importantly, it can actually work in the opposite where if you're making content and you're not building an intentional brand, if you're not doing it well, if you don't have any taste and it just looks shit, when people see you, they're not going to want to be around you. They're going to think, I don't like what you stand for. If they can see you're just making content for the pure purpose of making money, yeah, you might attract leads. You might attract some people that will respect you because they'll see the money you're making or the things that you're doing. But actually, if you're not doing it well, first of all, you'll hate it. You won't feel proud of it. And more importantly, it's going to work in the opposite effect of you. And I'll be real, it's not this big rework that needs to be happened. It's just a few strategic changes, the way you present yourself, and you might need to just get a better quality skill set with how to use a camera, how to speak on the camera, what you actually talk about, and just actually overall strategy. Just those few things I've seen with a few people that I've worked with and also with myself has made night and day difference. Now, really quickly, if you're a founder or an entrepreneur and you want help with your content, there's a link down below, but I'll be real with you. If you are going to be wanting to just make content for the sake of having the ROI, this kind of goes against everything we've spoken about this video. Maybe we can work with you, maybe we can help. We have a lot of fucking results and we want to keep it that way. And what I've found is that people that we work with, if they're trying to just do it just to purely make money, they're not going to get the most out of it and they're thinking of it from a short-term mindset. So if you're thinking about making content from the long-term mindset, then down below, there will be a thing which you can click on. It'll take you somewhere and you can see if we can help. Now, going on from not enjoying content, this kind of leads me into my second point of this video where you're not enjoying content. I will tell you from personal experience, the minute you start enjoying content, you actually enjoy doing it. You're consistent, number one, obviously. But more importantly, learning how to build a personal brand, learning how to create content, learning the skills makes your life 10 times better. Now, what do I mean by this? It will allow you to have opportunities which you've never had before, but more importantly, it's a fire underneath you to push your life, to see an ROI on living life to the fullest. It's an ROI on pushing yourself to become the highest version of yourself. And a lot of entrepreneurs, myself included, when we got started, we got into this to either solve a problem which we had for ourselves and then like help other people with that problem. Or if you're anything like me, you got into entrepreneurship and business to make money, to live a life of freedom, and to be able to do things that you wanted without having to be told what to do. But more importantly, the gateway drug for that was self-improvement, realizing you weren't happy with where you were, you wanted to improve and you wanted to get better. Now, I've learned that creating content has been the best self-improvement fucking tool I've ever had. Because like I said, it literally lights the fire underneath you to push yourself to create the life of your dreams. It shows you real time as well as a documentation fact, where you look at 12 months ago, you see where you were, and you look now and you see where you were. And you can see the delta between where you were and where you are now. And if you're not making progress at the which you need to, you will see, holy shit, brother, I need to lock the fuck in. I need to improve and I need to push myself. But if you are making progress, when things do get tough, when things are difficult, you can see the delta. You can be like, holy shit, brother, everything's going the way it should be. I'm on progress, I'm on path, and I'm winning. Now, I will go into the fact where pushing yourself to go out there, to go live experiences in life, to go do cool things and bring the camera along, it's an ROI on everything. You go on the trip, you spend more money on the nicer thing. It allows you to see an ROI on that and be able to use that to feed back into your brand, back into your life. And if you're self-aware enough and you have the right people around you, it highlights things and areas in your life where you need to improve. Because let's say you're not in shape. You're not going to be looking very good on camera. It shows you, I need to get in shape and I need to stay in shape. So then your reason and your identity can be shifted to shape to the person you want to become. And then you end up starting to live a movie, because everything that you do is a reward for the hard work that you've put in. And it's shown where you can watch it back and you're showing it to the world that, like, I am this person, I live this life, and this is fucking sick. And no one is making content in the entrepreneurship space about depression, about how shit their life is, about how much they love drugs. No one's making that stuff. Everyone's making stuff about how cool life is, how much fun things are to do, the struggles, the routines, the locking in. Because at a deep down level of core, we all want to grow. We all want to get better. Get yourself out of the loops of the struggles and embrace them, to push yourself and be okay with being where you are right now, pushing your business to 1 million, to 10 million, to 100 million a year, and using the content as a documentation so you can show, well, number one, I proved I fucking did it. Number two, you can actually enjoy the journey because you're filming the journey along the way. But more importantly, you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the ability to push yourself, become the highest version of yourself, build the business, be the best, honest, nicest, kindest person, do the basics, be fundamentally honest, and have good intentions with the world. And the universe and God will reward you. And you know this deep down. If you're honest and you have good intentions and you are able to make content, inspire, and be a better person for the world, the universe and God will always reward you for those actions. I promise you, if there's anything you take from this video, it's get addicted to winning and just fall in love with the process, because the person who loves winning, the person who loves walking, will keep walking past the destination, and they will always be the person that enjoy it. Now, to come back to the highest purpose of life, not enjoying it, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but I don't have the time. How do I fucking do this? And look, I understand. I've been there. I've been focusing on my business, and I was like, why the fuck am I going to spend time, money, energy, attention into building my content? Why am I going to build this business and also build the content on the side as well? And look, if I haven't sold you enough on the content, I understand. I go into this business thing, but if I'm going to be honest with you, it's never the right time. So if you're going to take action on this, use this fucking video as a motivation to do the action. But you might be genuinely thinking, okay, logistically, I don't have time for content. Well, I'm going to give you 4 things which I've written down. Like, my memory's not always perfect, and I'm going to run you through exactly how I was able to build my business and my content. And by the way, my content probably takes 10% of my time and my attention, all right? When it really starts to like grow and does well, it probably takes about 20% of my time and attention. And that is because I've mastered the skill of working on the right things and being able to make it as easy as possible for me, so I can make the main focus, the main thing, which is the things which are my life. And like, what I mean by this is the content, if you're going to be a founder or an entrepreneur, is not going to be the focus of your life. It is going to be a value add. It is going to be something that adds to your life, as would a dog or a partner or making money. It all adds to the life. It's not the main focus. And so the first thing I want to put out is your habits. In attaching creating content with your habits, it makes your life so much more seamless because your subconscious is already making content. I wonder what I mean by this. Let's say you have a thought, an idea, and you want to sit down and create a piece of content, and you're going to carve out time in the day, and you're thinking, well, shit, you sit down, you look in front of the camera, you're like, well, fuck, what the fuck am I going to say? Well, if you have the habit of always having a camera with you, and like, I'm assuming you have some skill set of how to use a camera. If you don't, at least you can use an iPhone. It's not complicated. As soon as you have that thought, just put the camera down, press record and just start talking. It's going to be shit. It's not going to be good in the beginning. But what's going to happen is you're going to get better. And in getting better, you're going to eventually be good enough to where you can sit down, you can have thoughts. And what we're trying to do here is get into flow state. We're trying to get into the potential and tap into the flow state where we are speaking as the thought comes straight from the mind to the mouth. There's no thoughts, there's no like stuttering, there's no this and that. It's just seamless and almost enjoyable. Because I'll be real with you, once you find that flow state, it is the most enjoyable thing possible because you can really feel your mind and your body like thinking and putting things out there into the world. Now, the second one is leverage. Having leverage in being able to create content just makes the whole process a lot easier. And now what do I mean by this? Sitting down and recording for a long period of time, let's say 30 minutes to an hour, you can turn that into a YouTube video and then you can cut that up into shorter videos. And if you have the right people behind you, and you have the leverage where the people are spending their time, and honestly, an editor isn't expensive. Getting people to manage your stuff isn't expensive. If you have the right systems, which I'm going to get into in a second, it makes the whole process a lot easier because you're actually just sitting back, you're doing the main input, which is filming, and you're letting someone else take the reins of producing it and creating it. So all you need to do is just do the highest leverage thing, which no one can replace you with no AI can't replace you, which is just sit down and film. And you are going to be filming because you have the camera with you, or you have the habit of having a thought, or when the time is right, when there's gap open in your mind, in your world, in your time, you just have the camera ready to go. And because you're being rewarded by it, because you enjoy speaking to the camera, because I promise you, it is one of the most fulfilling and rewarding things possible, it will be something that you want to do and you look forward to. And then it shows through the content because you're going to be enjoying it and you're actually going to be putting out there content which you're proud of. Now, the third thing for creating time for content is having the right systems. Now, this kind of goes on with habits and leverage, where you have people in place, you have the right file structures, you have the right systems on the back end for the production, so it all flows seamlessly. And then those are all kind of systems in alone. But this is the broader picture of if you have the right systems, which basically I've unlocked because I've been building systems for content with my business, for my personal brand, and for other people's businesses and other people's personal brands. I've seen it all. Now, the systems are all very specific. Each individual person, each individual business needs to have their own types of systems. They need to have their own types of way that they've got people working for them. And it's very like nuanced. It can be done, but it has to be something you need to think about. But I'll give you this. You need to just start simple. You need to just be clean and keep things as simple and basic as possible. And what I mean by this is you don't want to be adding too much complexity. This is like, to use the lack of a better analogy, you're biting off more than you can chew. And so this is where it comes back to, if you're starting, start small and then scale. If you have some skills, if you already have flow of content, then you want to be able to look at what you're doing and you want to say, okay, how can I systemize this? How can I make this simple? And then what can be deleted? Once you've deleted everything until you deleted so much you have to start adding things back, that's the point where you can be like, okay, if I want to make higher quality content, I need to create a better system. Who do I need? What is the tools that they need? What is the way that we could do things? How am I going to improve with my content? How am I going to improve with the tools and the skills that I have? And if you put all of that together, then you're able to have some of the highest level stuff, which actually wasn't very difficult because you have the right systems, you have the habits so you're enjoying it, and you have the leverage so that you're removed from the actual content itself. All of this put together is how you get some of the biggest personal brands, how you get some of the biggest companies and the businesses, because they've been able to put all the pieces together to have this production system, which removes the founder from the actual production, this content side, so that it grows, it is good, it is actually something that we would look up to and we want to have for ourselves. And it does take a bit of time, which gets me onto my final thing, is if you have the right strategy, it all comes together, because there's no point having all of the habits, enjoying the process of creating content, having the leverage, having the right people, knowing what to do, and then also having the systems so everything operates. If you don't have the right strategy, you're not going to have the right brand and you're not going to have the right direction. And to use the lack of a better analogy again, if you're having a ship and your port is here and your destination is here, if you decide to go from here to here, you need to have a direction. Now, if you're off by a little bit, even by a few degrees, you're going to end up over here. And that's not going to where you want to be. And so having the right strategy allows you to build the brand, which gives you the leverage and gives you the compound, because it's something that people want, it's something that people look up to, and it's something that people can't copy. And in having the right strategy, it allows you to get what you want a lot quicker, because you can go there in a straight path. You don't have to do this, do that, fix things, work things out. You get it right from the get-go. Now, like I said, if you want any help with your content, either it's for yourself or for your business, There'll be links down below. But more importantly, I really hope you've taken the time for this video to take some action steps and actually start filming or get better at filming. If you're not happy with where you are, if you're not actually enjoying your life, if you're making money but you're not enjoying it, that is a problem that you need to fix right now. And my suggestion from my own experience is creating content, even if it's just for your business and you're removed from it, you will enjoy it a lot more because the business will grow and you're removed from it, and it makes everything inside of the business a lot easier. Now, this was a very content heavy businessy video and I really hope you enjoyed it. There is some videos here from my main channel and here from this channel here, which is my second business channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.